Hi everyone, thank you for submitting your comments in the YouTube video when I asked what I should play next, and the most popular game that was mentioned was Dungeon Twister Prison. So we're going to do a playthrough of this game, but before we do that, let me show you what's in the box. So this is a 2-player game, but the designer included a full set of solo components and solo rules. So we're gonna try to learn the solo rules in this playthrough. These are the rule books. There's the game rules for the solo version. This is the rules and a tutorial for the regular game. There's a linen bag. These are the player screens. So there's one for each player. There's a blue player and the orange player. It's referred as the yellow player in the book, but this is orange, right? I have to say this plastic tray is done very well. Everything fits, as you can see, and there's a lot of extra space for any expansions that you might want to buy. So these are the starting lines for each of the players. There's a bunch of cards which go in here. I sleeve my cards so they don't fit anymore, but you have a set of action cards for each of the players. The yellow player, the orange player, and the blue player. And then the rest of the cards here really are for the solo play. So you have a deck of NPC cards which dictate how the AI would move the characters. You have these room tiles which tell you where to place certain objects throughout the game in the solo version of the game. This is cards for an optional part of the solo game. And then these are just character reference cards for the 8 characters that you control. And then over here we have 3 dice. All for the solo game. In the regular 2-player game, you don't play with any dice. And these are light wood dice. Quite nice. Here are the tiles. There are 8 room tiles in the game. And you see the slots are again very well made, so you can contain these tokens. We have 32 of these purple tokens. These are the NPC characters, or non-player characters. We have 6 object tokens for the non-player character. And then we have a set of tokens for each of the players, so the orange player and the blue player. So it's actually kind of hard to take these out. For the objects, and 8 of these character tokens. These are the victory point tokens. On the back of these tokens, you have the -1 action point token here, which helps you track how many actions you have left. Alright, on the right here, we have the miniatures. So let's take a look at a couple of them. Very detailed miniatures. At the bottom of the bases of the miniatures, you have a small, I don't know if you can see it, 2 small numbers here. The first one is the movement value, and the second one is the combat value of this particular miniature. So this character here can move 6 spaces for his movement, and his combat value is 2. One more thing. we have these portcullises. So on the board, you will have portcullises which block off the path. So these are the portcullises. And then these tokens represent opened portcullises and broken portcullises. Next, we're going to learn how to play the solo version of this game. The setting of Dungeon Twister Prison is in a magical world, and in this magical world there is a powerful human called the Archmage. The Archmage is skilled in magic, and he is so powerful and so good at magic that he gained immortality. Now, being immortal is a very boring thing, so the Archmage built all these dungeons underneath his castles as entertainment to him, so he would kidnap people into these dungeons, his enemies or whatnot, kidnap these people into his dungeons and watch them kill each other. In this game, we are in the Dungeon Twister and we want to get out. So let's take a look at how we can do that. In the solo game, you can only play the orange player. So you'll need to take out the orange player's action cards, which includes 3 jump cards, 4 action cards, 1, 4, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and combat cards, which ranges from 0 to 6. Take the victory point tokens from the box. There are 2 colors, blue and orange. You'll need the orange ones for your own use, and we'll also be using the blue tokens as victory points. Take the 8 room tiles, shuffle them. Place these tiles onto the board, making 2 columns and 4 rows. We'll place the orange player starting line here, the blue player starting line here. Next, we'll set up the NPC players. So we'll grab this NPC deck, shuffle, and then draw 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The rest we'll just place on the side of the board face down. There are 8 classes in the game. There's the Cleric, the Telepath, the Banshee, the Wizard, the Naga, Mechanorc, Backstabber, and the Colossus. What we're going to do now is take the 8 cards that we drew earlier and pick out the characters that is on the card. So we have Weeked the Sissy, who is a telepath. So Weeked. Next we have another telepath, Extremis. We have a Banshee. Who's this guy? A Cleric, Father Godago. Colossus, Arthos. Another Colossus, Herban. Another Colossus, wow. Mengdu, the Powerful. And we have a Naga, Serpico. These are the 8 character tokens. We're going to put them all into the linen bag. We're also going to put the object tokens into the bag. The next part of setup, we're going to choose 4 characters out of the 8 possible characters to start our game. So I'm going to choose the Backstabber, the Naga, Telepath, and I believe the Mechanorc. These will come out later, but we'll start with these 4. We're going to take out the tokens for the 4 characters that we picked, And then the rest of them, the other 4, will go into the bag. We'll also place into the bag the 6 object tokens for the orange player. We're gonna put the character tokens on the starting line, the 4 that we picked, like so. For the AI player, we're gonna need combat cards from the blue player. So pick out the blue combat cards, shuffle them, and put them on the side of the board. The rest of the blue player cards, the action cards and the jump cards, they go back into the box. Finally, we're gonna set aside the dice here. We're also going to take the 8 room cards for solo play and just place them on the board face up. We'll need them when we reveal rooms. That's all for setup. In the next episode, we'll start gameplay.